just wanna let it go.
So hello everyone, this is the Sports Show podcast, and today we're joined with Oisin Smyth. How are you, mate?
Yes, all good, mate. How's you?
I'm alright, thank you. So just before we get talking about the football, I'll just ask a simple question. If you could have a dinner party with 3 people, who would it be?
Number one has to be Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo. I'll go 2 probably have to be maybe Conor McGregor. Probably the old Conor McGregor, the new one's kind of gone a wee bit mad, hasn't he? And then number 3, Sir Alex Ferguson.
Right, a United supporter then, aye?
Yeah, big United fan.
Not a very good result last night, was it?
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Yep. So we'll just get straight into football then. So how was football growing up for you then?
Yeah, I always loved it. I think it was all I ever really wanted to do. I remember even from probably when I first started playing, I just remember everything it was just going to school and straight home to play football. Used to have to be dragged in to do the homework and whatever else, but that was all I ever wanted to do and could ever see myself doing.
Did you always want to go professional then?
Yeah, it was always my dream. Obviously, probably left a wee bit late in the end. It was always probably in my head to go over a wee bit sooner, but I wouldn't change it. I think it's worked out for the better.
Yeah. And then what was it like to captain Dungannon then after so many years there?
Yeah, it was massive. I think after spending so long there, it was kind of probably at the top of my list at the time. I know I'd always said I'd want to go full time, but being at Dungannon and seeing what it was like playing for the first team, I think the first couple of years was brilliant. I loved every minute, and then when Dean came in, I just knew it was just going to get better for me. The style he wanted to bring in and the way he wanted to play was just going to suit me, I thought. So when I was offered the captaincy, I jumped at it and I was happy to take it on board.
Yeah, and then do you think that also helped that you were captain, that maybe teams over in England were looking out for you then?
Yeah, I think it definitely boosted my profile, definitely. Once you see that someone's captaining a senior team at a high standard in Ireland, I think it gets people intrigued, it gets people watching, and yeah, it definitely helped me without a doubt.
Yeah, did you have any captain duties sort of outside of the football pitch, like especially at a young age as well?
And what terms do you mean?
So like being a captain, sort of leading by example at a young age. Did you have any captain duties maybe off the pitch?
Not so much off the pitch. Maybe I would have always been sort of one of the main players, I think, growing up in my teens. But in terms of off the pitch, no, not really. It's just kind of grown on me as it went on.
Yeah. And then what would you say number 1 was your best moment at the club, and number 2, what was your favourite moment at the club?
I would probably say my best moment at the club was probably scoring my first goal against Ballymena. I think it really pushed me on quite a bit and gave me that confidence and belief that I could go and play it at that level. I don't think I'd played too many games from it, and I wouldn't have been a natural goal scorer. So to go and score so early on, I think definitely boosted me on and helped me push on to the first team. And obviously, my best moment would probably be getting the captaincy. I think it was massive for me. And obviously to do it with such a great group that we had was special.
Yeah, and then how did they sort of get in touch with you to sign for the club?
So it all happened pretty quick. Because of how late it was left. I think I'd heard they came to watch me maybe the week before, and then they'd obviously been in touch back and forth with me agent whenever and what was going to happen, and in touch with the club, in touch with Dungannon, sorry. And a lot of it happens that I don't know about. So it was just kind of, I just had to put it to the back of my mind and hope that something was going to work out for me. And thankfully it did.
Yeah. Was there any other clubs that you know of that was in consideration of signing you at that time?
Yeah, I think it it was obviously documented that Glentoran had come in for me late on as well. But I think Wrexham was another one that had come in late.
Right.
But as I said, this is a lot of stuff that we don't know about as players. And obviously, when I heard Oxford were in at the level they're playing at and at the higher end of the table at that level, I think it was a no-brainer that I couldn't turn it down.
Yeah, and then obviously Joel Cooper and Gavin Quaid over there, they're obviously playing a lot better. Did that make your decision a lot easier than the saying over there?
Oh yeah, surely. It definitely did. And you see, obviously, Gavin's went on, came over and done well at Oxford, and then obviously moved on to Cardiff as well, and done very well. He's back with us now, and he's flying again. Do you know what I mean? So obviously you've got Sykesy there as well, who's doing very well for himself. And when you see boys like that go over, it definitely it shows, it gives you belief to go over and do it yourself. But knowing that they're over here, it obviously gave me that wee bit of ease as well, that I could come into an environment that maybe boys have been used to and could ease me into it.
Yeah, and I think I seen in an interview just before you signed, or maybe after it, that obviously whenever Glentoran were interested in you, you didn't want to go because of obviously your loyalty to Dungannon.
Yeah, well, I think that is the case. Obviously, in your career, you always want to step up and test yourself at the highest levels. But at the same time, in the situation we were in at Dungannon, I think to go to a different club in the same league in the January transfer window wouldn't have been the best decision. And for what Dungannon have done for me, I don't think it would have been fair on them to do that. So no, it wouldn't have been the case. Definitely not.
Yeah. Do you think playing League One football is a lot higher of tempo and stuff rather than playing the Irish League?
I think the tempo and the standard has surprised me actually. It's so quick paced. I think until you're watching it at ground level, you don't realise how fast the game is. The fitness levels over here are extraordinary, and I think that's the main thing that stood out. Technically and tactically, it's also very high. Do you know what I mean? And I would always back myself going into a football match and trust my ability. But at the same time, when you come over here and see the standard, you just have to appreciate it.
Yeah, and then obviously, I'm sure when you were younger, you would always dreamed of being on FIFA. Have you used yourself yet?
I haven't, no. My wee brother and I think a few of his mates have been on to use me, but I haven't got around it myself.
Class. So you're obviously playing a few weeks ago. You're playing for Northern Ireland under 21s against France, playing against the likes of Camavinga of Real Madrid. How massive is for that, and how did you sort of prepare before the match? Obviously coming against such a big opponent.
Yeah, it was a great experience. It was definitely one I was looking forward to when it was happening. But I think preparation for games is just always the same. You have to go into the mindset that you want to win and you want to be the best player in the pitch, and that was obviously my aim. First and foremost, I wanted to go up and test myself against the best, and Camavinga is definitely up there. As you've seen, he came on the other week against Chelsea in the Champions League. So that was one of the main aims. They had a lot of good players. Some of the boys that stood out was Thuram as well, playing for, I think it's Lille in League One, him and Guiri. So some of the names on the team sheet was fantastic. But no, I think, as you said, the preparation for it, it's just preparation has to stay the same for every game. And likewise, moving forward, if I get my chance for Oxford, it'll be the same. Yeah,
and then obviously there's only a few games left of the season. What would you say your goal would be, maybe for the rest of the season or even next season coming up?
Yeah, well, my goal is just to keep improving and keep trying to push towards getting into the first team. I think to be quite realistic, the main aim for me is pre-season next year, and I'm proving that I am at the levels that they have over here, and obviously get my name in the first team for next year, the start of the season.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, mate, for coming on. I really appreciate it. Cheers.
Yeah, no bother, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate you having me. Thank you.
Yes, cheers. See you later.
All the best.
Bye.